Hey guys, what's going on? How y'all doing out there? Y'all good? It's crazy out here, right? It's crazy, y'all. I live in Texas and we are under stay-at-home orders. I'm sure a lot of you in your towns are as well. If you're not, it might be coming. But we're all pretty much in the same boat. That's not a boat. What is a boat? No, we're on the same wavelength. How about that? That's a wave, right? Bam, fixed it, merged it. Okay. I'm Ryan. Did I say that already? I run a YouTube channel called Wife Life, and I talk about all things wife and all things life. A little bit of humor sometimes, unless it's not funny, then it's like wah wah. But I'm always honest with you guys, and I share different topics and situations that I have dealt with in my marriage and that you and I have discussed, and we talk about it with the wailed so that we can collectively help each other through our marriages. I am a Christian wife, so I am led by Bible principles, and that's my roadmap, my roadmap, and my guide. Yikes. So more recently, we've all found ourselves in kind of the same situation. A lot of uncertainty. We don't know really what's happening and how long this unknown is going to last. And so right now is a hotbed for arguments and mistrust and tensions and just everything that comes along with the sensitivity of the topic of finances. Recently we talked about submission. And so this season, everything is just coming to a head. Come on, I'm trying to do it God's way, and I'm trying to let my husband lead even in the financial department and let him have the final say, even though I give all of my wisdoms and my thoughts, and then I hand it over to him because that's like what we're supposed to do, right? And then what he says is what we do. But I don't agree, Lord. I don't agree. And so recently I've been having dilemmas. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that journey and about a situation where I had to make a decision about whether or not I was going to do what my husband thought we should do, or if I should use what I consider to be wisdom in the matter. I'm sure everybody's family works differently, but in our home, Jonathan allocates the money for bills. He says, this is what we have. He hands it over to me. I dish it out, right? I give it to where it needs to go, and we're good. So, this month came along, and I'm peeping what's happening worldwide, and I'm seeing what's going on in our state. And he tells me, here's the money for everything. And in my mind, I was like, I think we should probably be calling people and be like, hey, we ain't got it this month, or can we get on a payment plan, or can you put this over to next month? I was trying to be wise, what I thought was a wise plan of using our resources properly. There's a difference in being scared and being wise, and I was trying to simply be wise with our resources. Now, I brought my concerns and my ideas to my husband, and he said, no, I think we should pay it. Now, here's the thing. In my mind, I was like, okay, that's not a good idea, and I feel like he's not hearing me. I don't think he's really understanding not only what I'm trying to tell him, but also what's happening outside. Like the sky is falling. My husband is one of those, he doesn't like to feel the weight of debt on his shoulder, so he'll pay it out. Me, I'm okay with a little bit of that weight. I got student loan debt, so I'm not going anywhere for a while. I grabbed a Snicker. I have no problem with letting people know it's not going to be this month. Look, I've got this. I've got X amount of money. I was even prepared to tell Capital One, y'all going to have to come and get your payment from my house if you want it. You have my address. We're already giving to the church. We have not stopped doing that. Let's give unto the Lord. But for everybody else, now I know the Bible says, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, you feel me? However, I don't owe Caesar. I'm not going to tell y'all everybody money that I owe. But I will tell you that Caesar is not one of the people. And I brought up the conversation a couple of times because that's what we do. And we try to bring it up in different ways because maybe I wasn't clear in that last time. Because if you would actually recognize reason, you would go with what I said. Okay, so I was set in my mind that I was going to take the wise route and I was going to just transfer the money somewhere and have it sitting there for next month just in case, or the next month, because we don't know. I was telling myself I just want to be a good steward of what we have. Not be afraid, but be a good steward. Even though the leader of my home had already said a couple of times in a couple of different ways what he wanted done with the money. So I know you guys are like, Ryan, what'd you do? What'd you do? Yeah, I was very ready to go ahead and transfer that money because I thought that was the wise thing to do. So I was studying, which was something that I hadn't done. If I can be honest with you guys, I hadn't picked up my Bible in a couple of days. But as soon as I did, it was like God was like, okay, finally, boom, about to slap you in the face. And I went to First Corinthians, and all it took was chapter 1 and 2. And what I got, where is it? Hold on. I got my Bible, y'all. All through chapter 1 and 2, wisdom is kind of scoffed at. Paul is pretty much like, okay, you guys are focused on the wrong wisdom. There's godly wisdom and there's worldly wisdom. And worldly wisdom will never understand godly wisdom because it's above you. And that got me because I was like, man, okay, yeah, God, I'm using worldly wisdom to try to deal with this problem when my family is yours. So you're never going to operate in a worldly way for my family as long as we're honoring you. I mean, we were already continuing to give to the church. We were trusting him in that. So I should be able to trust that I will be honored by following my husband's direction. I called a woman who's very wise. I was sharing with her kind of my dilemmas. I was like, I'm trying to be submissive to my husband, and I feel like being submissive to my husband is me not being a good steward over our blessings. And she said, well, your husband is not going to get it right every time. He's going to fail, and those are his lessons. You can't protect him from his lessons. But then also, God blesses us for following his order. And she said, you'll be blessed in that, whether it turns out to be a good decision or what we thought was a bad decision, because no matter what, God can turn it around for something good. And it got me right in the heart. It's not about me trusting my husband. It's about me trusting God and allowing God to take the worldly wisdom out of me and be bold enough to operate in godly wisdom that confounds the wise. Godly wisdom is confusing to everybody else. And y'all, I was confused. I proudly say, do I look proud? No, seriously though. I followed that direction and followed it with confidence because at first it was a scary thought. But I'm trusting him in everything else. I have to trust God with my finances and not think that this is me against my husband. And the key to it is not just that I do or follow the direction and respect the direction that my husband is trying to set our family in, but also that if things get tense or hairy in the middle, instead of feeling the urge to be vindicated and say, see, I didn't want to do this, I can't do that because we made a decision, because we are one. I want to encourage every wife who's in this situation right now where we're unsure. It's so important that we understand that men and women see money very differently, and both feelings associated with money are valid. Men tend to get their confidence, or not get their confidence, but money and finances are attached to their confidence and self-worth. For women, money is attached to our security and our confidence in that way. What I was trying to protect myself from was a feeling of not being secure. The unknown is scary. It's scary for us. It's scary for them too, but it's different for them because it hits how they feel about themselves. For us, it hits and changes how we feel about our security and also how we feel about everything that we put our security in. I realize that as long as I'm putting my faith in God and not my husband, then when storms hit, I won't lose confidence in my husband because it was never about him anyway. But on the opposite spectrum, understanding that when I don't show confidence in my husband's ability to earn or take care of money, I am hitting his self-esteem and doing the opposite of what I thought I would be doing. I'm feeling like if I set him straight about this, he's gonna get better with money. That's not the same as us throwing caution to the wind. You go, babe, spin it, like gamble away all of our earnings, giving them that wisdom, that godly wisdom. But I want to be a safe place for my husband to land when he does fall. And we all will. I want to make sure that you guys understand that there's still a place for wisdom, but where worldly wisdom fails, godly wisdom will always prevail. So we have to look at everything in our lives through the scope of God's eyes and the possibilities of what he's trying to do. And if God tells us that he will supply all of our needs, and then our worldly wisdom goes against the idea of that, then it's not wisdom. I hope that makes sense. I hope that made sense. Okay, I hope that this video was a blessing to you all. I tried to send Indian style, but it didn't work. I need to stretch. I'm gonna go stretch and then record another video. So thanks you guys. Thanks you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. This has been another episode of What Life? In my closet, getting it. And I will talk to you guys later.